This is my third take because every single time I start recording this video, I get more and more angry and I go on rants and I end up on a completely different tangent. So we're gonna try it again. It's a trap, for the love of God, don't fall for it. Take 3. Job advertisements, something you cannot avoid in this industry, in any industry for that matter, but in creative industries in particular, there are a lot of pitfalls, a lot of red flags, and a lot of traps. So in this video, I want to run through a couple that I've enlisted help from friends to put together, and also I want to hear your thoughts. I want you to put in the comments down below anything that I've missed, because getting a list of these going is a really good idea, especially for people who maybe haven't run into them before, or are fresh to the industry and really just haven't seen them. Ads that say young, energetic, team player, junior, those sort of terminologies, just very strange. Junior and young, first of all, that's kind of ageist. Probably wouldn't put that in there because anybody at any age could be at any skill level. It's really not worth using those terms. It also highlights the fact that they're looking for somebody who can be manipulated easily. Let's just put it very lightly that way. I'm not saying that all workplaces do this, but it is a very common theme with job advertisements that are worded this way. Basically, they want somebody with minimal experience that they can manipulate in order to do unpaid overtime, in order to do things that might be unsafe, mentally and physically, and things that are just unlawful in general. And I do know that with time, people do learn these things, these red flags, these traps, but hopefully this video kind of clears a few things up for you, and you're a bit more knowledgeable about it next time you see a job advertisement. You can be on your toes. The ones that say you'll be doing one role at the start of the advertisement and then down the bottom of the advertisement, they have a list of skills, and those skills do not pertain to that job role. Number one, that kind of shows that they're inexperienced in what they're talking about. They don't quite know what they want, but also they might be wanting you to do those things for the same amount of money that they pay you to do one of those roles. So that's a little bit of manipulation right there. More roles means you should be paid accordingly. That's 100% what should happen. A friend of mine who does photography and videography came up with a great example. She said more often than not, when she sees these sort of job advertisements that are looking for a photographer and a videographer, she wants to make sure that she has enough time, number one, to switch between photography and videography, but also that she's paid accordingly to what she's doing, according to the skills that she's bringing to the project. You need to be able to do both jobs to the best of your ability, and being spread too thin can really be a detriment to that. Also, people who misuse terminology, so it's very good to keep an eye on job advertisements that say these sort of things. So for instance, if they're looking for a videographer for a short film, kind of shows that they might be inexperienced in the field and don't quite know what a videographer does, and that videographers do not shoot short films. I'm talking about the roles, I'm not talking about the people. A videographer can definitely shoot a short film, but if you're looking for somebody to shoot a short film, you'd be looking for a director of photography. Does that kind of make sense? It will only take an hour of your time. Nope, that's not the way it works. It's never gonna work that way. That's not the way it works. You're not paying for somebody's time, you're paying for their skills, you're paying for their equipment, you're paying for a lot of other things other than just their time. As a freelancer, as a freelance DP in Australia, we charge at a half day at a minimum, and that covers bump in, bump out, equipment, tax, bunch of other things involved in just generally having a job as a freelancer. So no, it might take an hour, but it's gonna cost more than an hour's charge. Don't expect a discount if it's only gonna take an hour. Also, it's probably never gonna take an hour anyway, because you do have the bump in and the bump out. So it's just, it boggles the mind, okay? Editing jobs with a flat rate on a similar notion to working more hours and getting paid for them. Well, yeah, editing jobs on a flat rate never tend to go that way. If you're being paid a flat rate and then all of a sudden the client goes, hey, I need like 7 other re-edits to what we've done, then you're working overtime for them and you're being paid the same amount. Just remember to stipulate at the start of any job in writing to your client exactly what's involved and how many re-edits you will do for them over the course of the project. Flexible working hours. It kind of invites somebody to make you work overtime pretty much. It's something you should keep an eye out for and just tread carefully around, because flexible working hours, I mean, it's a very vague term, but still it kind of invites people to make you work at the drop of a hat, and that might not be the best for your mental health. But most importantly, if you're doing overtime, you should be compensated for it. Deferred fees, hoping to sell, and significant investors. No, 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 no. just no. You are probably never going to see a dime from a film like this. I'm not exaggerating that. It's very highly unlikely that you'll see a significant amount of return on a job like this. If a project has significant investment, they should be able to pay you. That's just it. But I will also mention, if you've been approached for a project that you really like the crew, you feel like everybody is organized and you can see that there's a lot of passion behind it and that everybody is of a professional standard, then maybe it is worth your time. Maybe it's something you want to bring on. Maybe it's something you want for your reel. That can be totally fine. All of these things, it's just to show that you need to tread carefully in order not to be taken advantage of. Moving on, you'll be fed well. It's a great team and a good networking opportunity. No. This almost always means it's unpaid. Also, you should be really cautious if other members of the crew are being paid and you are not. That is not really fair, not really good management of a budget, and they should probably have budgeted to get crew paid. I understand money can be tight sometimes, but in those situations where you're paying some crew and not others, it's kind of devaluing their positions. Now I've got to say, been on jobs where I have been paid, but my crew members haven't been paid. When I've been paid next to nothing, but I've used a lot of my pay to thank my crew members, whether it be in monetary form, whether it be in a gift for them, whether it be something else, I don't know. It's something that I like to do because sometimes these things do happen and it's too late for you to get the payment for them. So compensating your crew and taking care of them is a really important thing. I'm a writer, director, editor, cinematographer, the list goes on. If you see somebody like this, be kind of cautious because they can, I won't say all people because it's true, not all people do, but they can be very controlling of all facets of production and kind of micromanage everything. Businesses asking you to work for free on a promo or commercial. No. Do not do these jobs, full stop. Doesn't matter if you want them for your reel or not, that business is taking advantage of the creative community. Even if they say, oh, well, we're not sure we're gonna go ahead with it, do not take that job. Do not take it at any cost. If they are making money or potentially making money off a piece of work that you are creating for them, then you need to be paid for your time. Looking for a cameraman? No. Just don't say cameraman, it's so outdated. Say camera operator. It's exactly what we are. We're all camera operators. It's open, it's inclusive, just use camera operator. One that's a little bit different to the other ones that I've said, but I did want to include here because it does happen mostly in pre-production when you're working with somebody who you may not have collaborated with before, is if they start complaining or constantly complain about other crew members that they've worked with in the past. It can really show that that person has a lack of trust in the people around them and that maybe they might be difficult to work with down the track. Kind of related to one earlier as well, when you're doing a job and then they throw you another job at the last minute that isn't pertaining to anything you're meant to be doing. Be cautious about that. You don't want to take on too many things at once and you also don't want to spread yourself too thin. It can be really hard on you mentally and physically as well. It can be quite dangerous, so just be very cautious of that. Now, over the course of the 8 years I've been working, I've run into pretty much everything on this list, and every single time it's happened, it's been a new lesson to learn. And I know that some of you will run into things on this list, but being as prepared as possible is what I'm trying to do with this video so that you don't have to make these mistakes and you know what to look out for. This video is also not to say avoid these at all costs, except for a couple of them, but it's to say just be careful. Be cautious, be on your toes about these things. If you notice a red flag, just take note of it. If you think it's going to be too detrimental to the job, just don't do the job. If you think you're going to be in danger by doing the job, don't do the job. There's a lot of different things to consider in each individual circumstance, but these are things to look out for. But I do hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you do have your own suggestions for things, please leave them down below. Like I said earlier, all of these things help people who haven't run into this before, and hopefully this video will help you in some way keep on your toes about these things, these red flags that happen daily in this industry. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.